All right, let's dive right into this explainer, demystifying artificial intelligence. Before we can really build, automate, or even just confidently use today's tech, we absolutely have to understand the hidden force powering the modern world. We're going to unpack exactly what's driving the digital landscape we navigate every single day. So let's jump right in and set the stage for everything that follows.
So, what if I told you AI shapes what you watch, buy, click, and believe every single day? We're starting with a massive question here, because honestly, most of us are interacting with these systems constantly, literally hour by hour, without truly grasping what's happening behind the screen. From the second you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, this invisible framework is quietly shaping your entire digital experience. It's influencing what movie you decide to watch on a Friday night, what product you buy on a Tuesday afternoon, what articles you click during your lunch break, and ultimately, even what you believe about the world, all based on a highly curated newsfeed designed specifically for you.
The reality is, you use AI every single day without knowing what it actually is or how it really functions. But don't worry, I'm going to break this down so simply and so smoothly, almost like we're just drawing the concepts out by hand together on a blank canvas. We're going to sketch out these complex technical ideas using super simple, grounded analogies. By the end of our time in this explainer, you are never going to look at your smartphone or your laptop the same way again.
Section 1. The Hidden Force. Demystifying the sci-fi myth.
Okay, here's the absolute simplest definition you can hold on to. Artificial intelligence is a system that helps machines do things that normally require human intelligence. Think of it way less like a sci-fi robot with glowing red eyes taking over a top-secret lab, and more like a highly efficient digital assistant that's just exceptionally good at looking for hidden clues. We're talking about computer programs that are continuously recognizing patterns, making rapid-fire predictions, understanding human language, and helping us make complex decisions in real time. But here's the real secret, and this is absolutely crucial. AI is not human intelligence. It isn't thinking the way you and I think. It doesn't have emotions, it doesn't understand context, and it certainly doesn't have common sense. It's just a highly specialized tool. For example, an AI fraud detector doesn't actually know what a credit card is, and it definitely doesn't understand the value of a dollar. It just knows the mathematical pattern of fraud and flags it when the math looks wrong. It's built to do specific tasks seamlessly, like generating text, creating images, or translating languages. Section 2. What is AI really? The core analogy. To really grasp what makes AI so special, let's compare it to traditional technology. Think of traditional programming like baking a cake using an incredibly strict, rigid recipe. A human programmer has to write down every single rule in advance. Crack 2 eggs, add 1 cup of flour, bake for 30 minutes. If X happens, then do Y. But artificial intelligence, it works completely differently. Instead of forcing a programmer to handwrite thousands of rigid rules to describe, say, the exact shape of a cat's ear or the curve of its tail, we just showed the system millions of pictures of cats. The system acts like a giant sponge. It connects the dots entirely on its own. It learns from all that data and those visual patterns to predict the most likely answer. It isn't being told every single answer, it's actually discovering the pattern itself, and that right there is exactly why it feels so incredibly smart. Section 3. The machine learning breakthrough, from a 1950s question to a 2026 reality.
You know, we didn't just wake up one morning with this technology fully formed in our pockets. It actually starts with a bold question way back in the 1950s, when scientists first asked, can a machine think? That opened the door, but for decades, progress just crawled. We entered what a lot of people called the AI winter. Computers were just too slow, and we didn't have nearly enough digital information to feed these systems. The world just wasn't ready. But then came the breakthrough of machine learning, accelerating progress right up to our current reality. 3 vital things came together all at once. Massive amounts of data flowing from the internet, incredibly fast computer chips capable of processing that info, and brilliant new mathematical models to make sense of the whole shebang.
Let's clarify this turning point, because it's huge. Machine learning is a subset of AI. Think of artificial intelligence as the broad category of vehicles, while machine learning is specifically the incredibly powerful engine that finally made the cars go fast enough to completely change the world. This specific breakthrough is what stopped AI from being just a quirky academic science experiment and turned it into an unstoppable force in our daily lives. It allowed computers to learn patterns directly from examples, instead of heavily depending on humans to handwrite every single rule.
Section 4. AI in your pocket. Pattern recognition at scale.
So why does all this history and theory actually matter to us? Well, because you are interacting with machine learning constantly. Think about your typical morning routine.
Your alarm goes off, and you unlock your phone simply by looking at it. That's computer vision AI analyzing the geometry of your face. You check your email, and the junk is perfectly filtered out into a separate folder. That's language processing at work. You open up a Maps app to check your commute. That's predictive algorithms calculating traffic patterns. Every single time YouTube recommends a video, or Netflix suggests your next binge watch, or an online store recommends exactly what you want to buy, that is AI in action, working quietly in the background.
And that brings us to the grand takeaway, the absolute key idea you need to remember. AI is pattern recognition at scale. By scale, we literally mean finding a needle in a haystack of billions of data points in a fraction of a second. It's like a superpowered detective armed with a magnifying glass examining millions of puzzle pieces simultaneously. It finds hidden patterns and uses those patterns to make highly accurate predictions. But remember our earlier distinction. It's solving very specific problems. One AI might be amazing at writing language, while another is entirely dedicated to generating images or detecting fraud. Is it immensely powerful? For sure. Is it a general human mind capable of doing everything at once? Not yet.
Section 5, Spotting AI Around You. Your homework.
Before we wrap up, I want to give you a quick exercise that will completely change how you see the digital world around you. Let's start actively connecting these dots in your own life. Here's your homework. Pick 5 AI systems you use every single day. When you open them, just pause for a second and ask yourself 3 core questions. What's its job? What data was it trained on? And what pattern is it trying to predict? For example, your navigation app probably learned from decades of traffic, historical routes, and real-time movement data to predict the absolute fastest way home. Voice assistants learn from massive amounts of human speech data to predict what words you're saying. Shopping apps learn from your personal browsing behavior. Start actively spotting this out in the wild.
Once you start spotting these systems in the real world, doing their jobs day in and day out, you realize something profound. AI is not coming. AI is already here. This major technological shift is already quietly taken over. Actually, the absolute best, most effective AI is the AI you don't even realize is running. It embeds itself seamlessly into the very tools we rely on to live our lives, which brings us full circle right back to that invisible framework we talked about at the very beginning. We'll explore exactly how AI actually learns from all that data in our next explainer, sketching out the internal machinery in a way that makes the whole system finally click. But for now, remember this crucial takeaway. The future of AI is important, sure, but the present is already inside your pocket. Which begs the ultimate question. If these systems already know enough about your patterns to predict what you'll buy, watch, and read today, how long until they start predicting what you'll do tomorrow? Keep an eye out for those patterns, and I'll